Chosen ones. Every chosen one knows what it feels like to be delayed. You know that ache, that pause between the promise and the fulfillment. You know what it's like to wonder if the journey has gone off course, if perhaps you've missed a step, taken a wrong turn, or fallen behind. But hear this truth. Every detour you've taken, every waiting season you've endured, has been orchestrated with divine precision. Nothing has been wasted. Every delay, every closed door, every redirection was not a mistake. It was direction. It was guidance from a higher order, a sacred intelligence that has always been leading you toward your destiny, even when it didn't make sense. Before we begin, I want to invite you. Watch this video until the very end. Let your spirit soak in every word. And if you feel the energy rise in your soul, leave your warmest wishes and the number 99 in the comments. That's our way of anchoring light into this moment, of sending a ripple of positive intention out into the universe. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. This is your time to align your energy with your destiny, to awaken the flow of miracles and make your wishes come true. Because the universe listens when you believe. You see, delay is not denial. Detours are not disasters. They are divine choreography, invisible steps in the dance between your soul and destiny. The chosen ones, those who carry light in their being, are never given straight paths. The road for you has always been winding because it was meant to build your depth. If everything came easily, your strength would never be revealed. If you never had to wait, you'd never learn how to hear the whisper of divine timing. Every waiting season has been a classroom for your soul. Every silence was not absence, it was preparation. Think about the moments that broke you, the jobs that didn't work out, the relationships that dissolved, the dreams that seemed to fade. You thought those were endings, but they were beginnings in disguise. You see, the universe never subtracts without the intention to multiply. When you lost something, it was because the higher plan was moving you into alignment with something greater. That closed door wasn't a punishment. It was a preservation. That delay wasn't a pause in your destiny. It was divine recalibration. The chosen ones are never meant to rush. Their journey has to unfold in divine timing because their purpose is too layered, too sacred, too powerful to be rushed. You've been walking through fire, not because you're forgotten, but because your soul needed to be tempered like gold. The divine delays are there to make sure you're ready to carry what's meant for you. Because when you finally arrive at your destiny, it will demand your strength, your humility, your clarity, and your faith, qualities that are only built in seasons of waiting. If you've ever felt frustrated, wondering why things take so long for you, remember, you are not walking a common path. The chosen ones are assigned uncommon delays because they are being prepared for uncommon impact. When everyone else was running ahead, you were told to wait. When everyone else seemed to get what they wanted, you were still being shaped. That's because your purpose requires maturity. You can't rush the unfolding of divine design. You have to understand something deep. Every time life took you in a direction you didn't plan, heaven was rerouting you to divine purpose. The detours you faced weren't random, they were protective. That disappointment you faced was saving you from lesser things. The opportunities you lost were not meant to define you, they were meant to refine you. The delays were not blocks, they were blessings in disguise. When you look back over your life, you'll see it. You'll see that everything, every pause, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer had to happen exactly the way it did. The timing, though painful, was perfect. Because divine precision doesn't make mistakes. It only moves according to truth. You thought you were late, but the truth is, you were always on time. Divine time. There were seasons when you were hidden. You tried to shine, but no one noticed. You tried to speak, but no one heard. That's because you were still in the divine cocoon. The chosen ones have to go through obscurity before revelation. You were being built in silence so that when your moment came, you'd be unshakable. You weren't being punished by being hidden. You were being protected. The universe doesn't forget those who walk with light. You were being prepared for something far greater than recognition. You were being molded for purpose. The delays were setting your foundation, ensuring that when your moment came, you'd be able to sustain it. Because success without preparation collapses. Recognition without resilience destroys. But when the chosen ones finally rise, they rise with grace that cannot be taken away. The divine plan has no accidents. What seemed like chaos was choreography. What seemed like confusion was creation. You thought the journey had detours, but those detours were the very road. There's a sacred intelligence behind your story. Something that has been aligning every event, every person, every challenge with divine precision. You didn't lose time. You were being aligned with divine order. Your spirit knows this truth. Even when your mind doubts it, your soul recognizes it. That's why, even in the dark, something in you refused to quit. You may have cried, but you didn't stop. You may have been confused, but you didn't collapse. You may have lost everything, but you didn't lose your light. Because chosen ones cannot give up. Their destiny won't let them. The path of the chosen is filled with divine interruptions. Plans that crumble, doors that shut, seasons that seem endless. They all serve a purpose. Each delay is divine direction. You were never abandoned. You were being led. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. You weren't behind. You were right on schedule. You were learning the rhythm of divine timing. You had to go through what you went through so that you could become who you are now. Every delay gave you something: wisdom, patience, faith, empathy. Every detour taught you how to trust, how to surrender, how to listen. Because destiny isn't just about arrival, it's about transformation. You are not the same person who started the journey. You have evolved into the version of yourself that can handle what's coming. And that's the beauty of divine precision. It never gives you what you're not ready to carry. That's why sometimes it feels like everything stops right before breakthrough. That's the test, the silence before the shift, the stillness before the surge. The divine is testing your trust. Can you believe in the promise even when you can't see the path? Can you hold the vision when the evidence disappears? Because that's where chosen ones are separated from the rest, in the waiting room of destiny. When you finally understand this, peace returns. You stop striving. You stop fighting the process. You begin to trust the rhythm of divine timing. You realize that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment, They're all instructions from the universe telling you, wait, it's not time yet. Something better is coming. And when it comes, it will make sense. The dots will connect. The pain will reveal its purpose. The delays will reveal their direction. You will see that you were never waiting. You were being positioned. You were being guided to your perfect place, your divine alignment, your highest timeline. You see, the chosen ones don't just live, they unfold. Their path is not linear, it's layered with purpose. Every twist and turn carries sacred meaning. The divine has been weaving threads of wisdom through every season of your life, crafting a masterpiece that only time will reveal. One day you'll look back and realize that nothing was out of place. Everything happened for you, not to you. You are not lost. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The delays were divine. The detours were precise. The journey has always been orchestrated by hands that see beyond time. You are walking a path that was written long before you arrived here, a path designed with love, intention, and perfect timing. So keep moving, chosen one. Keep trusting. Keep believing. The universe hasn't forgotten you. It's preparing to reveal what's been promised. Every delay was divine direction. Every detour was destiny disguised as distraction. Every moment of waiting was an invitation to deepen your faith. Your time is coming, and when it does, it will be perfect. Not a second too soon, not a moment too late. Divine timing will reveal that every step, every tear, every delay was sacred. You were never waiting for it. It was waiting for you to become who you are meant to be. When you reach a certain level of awareness, you begin to see that the universe was never working against you. It was always conspiring for you. The things that broke your heart, the paths that disappeared, the people who walked away, none of it was random. Every ending was an echo of divine redirection. You were being pulled out of situations that could not hold your frequency. You were being guided out of energies that could not match your purpose. The chosen ones are often misunderstood, not because they are wrong, but because they move to a rhythm most cannot hear. You were not meant to fit where you used to belong. The divine had to close those doors to keep you from shrinking back into smaller versions of yourself. You've been outgrowing rooms, outgrowing patterns, outgrowing the very idea of who you thought you were supposed to be. That is what the delays did. They gave you time to shed the old layers, the illusions, the expectations that never belonged to your soul. Every time something slowed down, it was the divine saying, wait. You're not going to carry this energy into your next chapter. You see, every delay had a cleansing hidden inside it. It wasn't just about waiting, it was about refining. The universe was polishing you like a gem, removing the dullness of fear, doubt, and attachment. The chosen ones often confuse delay with rejection, but delay is purification. The divine pauses are not punishment. They are pauses for alignment. If the door opened too soon, it would have collapsed under the weight of your unhealed parts. But now, you've become stronger, calmer, more attuned. You can feel the energy before the event. You can sense the direction before the opportunity. You are learning to trust your inner compass more than your external circumstances. Do you remember those times when you begged for something to happen, but it didn't? You cried, you prayed, you tried to force it. You thought you were being ignored. But now, looking back, you can see That unanswered prayer was your protection. If that relationship had worked out, you would have settled. If that opportunity had opened, it would have limited you. If that door had stayed open, you wouldn't be who you are now. The detours didn't delay you. They saved you. You are stepping into a season where you'll start to recognize the divine fingerprints on everything. The coincidences that aren't coincidences. The perfect timing that feels supernatural. The people you meet right when you need encouragement. The message you hear at the exact moment you're about to give up. That's not random. That's orchestration. The universe has always been in communication with you through patterns, signs, and synchronicities. You just had to slow down long enough to notice. The chosen ones are trained in trust. The delays teach you how to listen, not just to what's happening, but to what's not happening. Silence speaks. Stillness instructs. When nothing moves, something inside you begins to awaken. You start to hear the inner voice of divine wisdom guiding you, whispering, "Not yet. Hold on. I'm aligning everything." The divine never forgets a promise. It may take years, it may take decades, but what's written for you cannot pass you by. Every delay you've faced has been building your capacity. You were being stretched for expansion. That's why it hurt. Not because you were breaking, but because you were growing. Growth is uncomfortable. It demands release. It strips away illusions. It confronts attachments. The divine delays are often disguised as discomfort because your old self has to dissolve before your new self can emerge. You had to lose who you were to discover who you truly are. You might not have seen it then, but those silent years were holy. The isolation was an initiation. You were learning to walk without validation, to stand without applause, to believe without evidence. That's what makes you chosen. Your ability to move when no one believes, to trust when there's no proof, to keep the light burning even when everything around you goes dark. The chosen ones live by inner fire, not outer approval. And that fire in you, that relentless spark, that's divine. It's what kept you going when logic said to quit. It's what whispered hope when your world fell apart. It's what kept your heart soft when you had every reason to harden. The delays didn't destroy your faith. They refined it. You stopped praying for things to happen quickly and started praying for them to happen right. You stopped rushing the process and started respecting the timing. That shift is everything. Because divine precision requires divine patience. The higher plan doesn't operate on human clocks. What's meant to bloom in your life is tied to your soul's readiness, not the calendar's date. That's why it takes longer for you. That's why others seem to leap ahead while you wait. They are living stories written for the moment. You are living one written for eternity. Your story takes longer because it will echo further. Do you realize how much you've already survived? How many storms you've walked through that were meant to drown you? But you're still here, breathing, believing, expanding. That's not luck. That's evidence of divine orchestration. You were carried when you couldn't stand. You were guided when you couldn't see. You were protected when you didn't even know danger was near. That's the mark of divine favor. Unseen hands holding you steady through unseen battles. And now, you're standing at a threshold. The energy is shifting. You can feel it in your spirit, a quiet sense that something is aligning, something is awakening, something is about to unfold. The delays are ending. Not because time ran out, but because you've become who you needed to be. You've completed the lesson that the waiting was designed to teach. You're no longer resisting. You're flowing. You've surrendered the need to control the outcome, and in doing so, you've stepped into your highest power. The chosen ones understand that surrender isn't giving up. It's giving in to divine order. It's trusting that what's meant for you will find you, even if you don't chase it. It's knowing that the universe doesn't forget your name, your prayers, or your purpose. Surrender is where divine precision becomes visible. When you stop fighting the timing starts working for you. So when things slow down, when paths close, when progress seems to pause, don't panic. It's the divine adjusting your trajectory. It's the unseen hands rearranging things in your favor. The delay is not a dead end, it's a doorway disguised as stillness. You are being aligned with something that matches your frequency, your integrity, your purpose. That's why it takes time, because the higher the calling, the finer the calibration. The universe moves with care when it's about to elevate you. It ensures that every person, every place, every condition matches your vibration. That's why nothing happens randomly for the chosen ones. You are being positioned in perfect precision, not where it's easiest, but where it's right. The detours have been clearing your path of what cannot sustain your light. You weren't being delayed, you were being delivered. And when the moment arrives, when divine timing opens the door, you'll understand why you had to wait. You'll understand why certain things had to end, why certain people had to leave, why certain dreams had to be delayed. It all led you here, to this awareness, to this peace, to this deeper connection with divine flow. Nothing was wasted. Every moment served you. Every delay was divine direction. When you finally reach the end of a long season of waiting, something changes inside you. You no longer look at life the same way. You stop asking why things happened, and instead, you start whispering, "Thank you." You realize that the very moments you once cursed were actually the moments that shaped you. The detours didn't break you. They built you. The delays didn't destroy your path. They defined it. Everything that once felt like loss becomes sacred architecture, proof that divine timing was working long before you understood it. You begin to see that the divine was never late. Every lesson arrived on schedule. Every heartbreak had its purpose. Every pause was part of the plan. There were days when you thought you were standing still, but the truth is, your spirit was moving forward in ways you couldn't see. The universe was rearranging the unseen so that the visible would unfold perfectly. All the while, your faith was being refined in silence. The chosen ones are built in the spaces where nothing seems to move, because that's where trust is born. At first, waiting feels like punishment, but over time, it becomes peace. You stop measuring your worth by progress and start measuring it by presence. You stop chasing signs and start becoming one. You realize that when you align with divine flow, life begins to flow through you. You are no longer forcing doors open. You are walking through the ones meant for you. You are no longer begging the universe to prove itself. You are embodying the proof. Because you've lived enough to know, divine precision doesn't miss. Think about it. If everything you ever wanted had come when you wanted it, you wouldn't have been ready to receive it. You might have mishandled blessings because you were still healing. You might have accepted less because you didn't yet know your worth. Divine timing isn't about delay, it's about preparation. It waits until your energy matches your destiny. When your vibration rises to the level of your purpose, the doors open effortlessly. You don't have to chase what's aligned. It finds you. There's a reason the chosen ones walk the longest roads. The higher the calling, the deeper the preparation. Every delay you endured was a layer of your becoming. Every obstacle refined your character. Every heartbreak expanded your empathy. Every closed door sharpened your intuition. The chosen ones aren't chosen because they're lucky. They're chosen because they can endure what others can't. They have been forged in divine fire, purified by process, and elevated by surrender. And now, you're entering a new season, not one of striving, but of arrival. You are no longer who you were when the journey began. You've learned to see with spiritual eyes, to hear the voice of alignment, to feel when something is right for you before it even manifests. You've learned that rejection is redirection, that loss is liberation, and that stillness is sacred. You've learned that divine timing never denies, it only designs. The universe is not in a hurry, it doesn't rush art, and you are a masterpiece in progress. Every layer of your experience has been painted with precision. The shadows, the highlights, the colors of pain and joy blending into something transcendent. You are being completed, not delayed. You are being shaped, not sidelined. When you understand this, frustration transforms into faith. You start to bless the waiting seasons because you realize they are not empty. They are full of divine work. The chosen ones carry light that cannot be dimmed even when hidden. That's why life often isolates them, not to punish, but to prepare. You had to walk alone so you could learn to hear your own frequency. You had to be unseen so you could be refined without distraction. You had to be delayed so you could develop depth. The world needs your light, but your light needed time to stabilize before being revealed. That's why nothing seemed to happen for so long. The roots had to grow before the bloom. And now, your roots are deep. You've become unshakable. The same storms that once terrified you now remind you of your strength. You no longer fear uncertainty because you've lived through divine detours and realized that nothing was ever lost, only redirected. You've walked through fire and come out gold. You've been delayed, but never denied. You've been tested, but never abandoned. The divine has been with you in every moment, whispering, "Be still. I am aligning it." There's a peace that comes with understanding divine precision, a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. You stop forcing outcomes, stop doubting your timing, stop comparing your journey to others. You know now that the chosen ones are not in competition with the world. Their race is sacred, their timing is sacred, their destiny is sacred. You realize that divine alignment cannot be rushed, but it also cannot be stopped. What's meant for you carries your signature in light. It will find you no matter where you go. The chosen ones are not chosen because of perfection, they are chosen because of purpose. You were chosen to walk through delay so you could teach others that patience is power. You were chosen to endure detours so you could show others that reroutes are revelations. Your life is not a mistake, it is a message. Every chapter you've lived, even the ones filled with silence and confusion, was written with divine intention. Nothing in your story has been wasted. So now, as you stand at the edge of your next chapter, breathe. Let go of the weight of needing to know what's next. The same divine intelligence that guided you through every detour is guiding you now. You don't need to control the process. You just need to stay aligned with peace. The universe moves when you do. The moment you choose surrender over struggle, life begins to accelerate in your favor. You don't need to chase your destiny. You only need to become the frequency of what you desire. You've learned to trust the pauses. You've learned to see delay as dialogue, a conversation between your soul and the divine. You've learned that when something doesn't move, it doesn't mean it's not coming. It means the timing is still being perfected. Divine orchestration is never late, never random, and never without purpose. You've seen this truth too many times to doubt it now. Every detour has been a line in your destiny's song. Every delay has been divine choreography. Every setback has been a setup for revelation. And now, as you step forward, you do so not with anxiety, but with authority, because you know that your path has been blessed by precision. You've been rerouted, refined, and realigned. You've walked through shadows and found light. You've lost pieces of your past only to discover the wholeness of your purpose. The chosen ones rise quietly. Their breakthrough doesn't come with noise, it comes with clarity. One day you'll wake up and realize that what used to worry you no longer touches your peace. You'll see how everything unfolded exactly as it was meant to. You'll understand that you were never waiting for your destiny. Your destiny was waiting for you to become who you are now. So take a deep breath, chosen one. This is your time. The delays are over. The detours are complete. You've arrived at the intersection of readiness and revelation. Everything you've prayed for is aligning with who you've become. You are not behind. You are right on divine schedule. Every delay was divine direction. Every pause was protection. Every detour was preparation. You were never lost. You were being guided with precision. And now, as the universe opens before you, walk with confidence, walk with peace, and walk with gratitude. Because every step you take from here forward is sacred. You are proof that divine timing is real. You are walking confirmation that every delay was divine direction, and now it's your season to shine.